for Hammocks. You know, my buddy Major Garcia left us in really, really good shape. It's kind of hard to have a, you know, better year than the year before when you have such low numbers coming in. And unfortunately, I can't keep all those numbers as low because crimes spike up here and there, but we are down, even compared to the year before. I think probably by the way that the district was set up when I got here, I can't say that we've done too much different. When I came here, I was told by, you know, the bosses above me that I was getting a Cadillac. And having driven or been around this department in different capacities, there are some jalopies, I will say. So we're blessed here. And I'm glad that I live in the neighborhood. That is a you know, that's a Maserati. I apologize. But you know, homicides, we're up one homicide, and we've had one case in the district, and unfortunately it was a domestic related homicide that happened, I think in my first or second day here in the area near 8th Street, and unfortunately it was in a relationship that had gone bad, and a grandfather stabbed a grandmother tragically, and she succumbed to her injuries. Not really something you could predict or solve. It's just, you know, he showed up and he did what he did, but they did get him in custody at the scene, so fortunately we closed that. Our sex offenses, we're down 2 cases compared to the year before, and again, these things are kind of sporadic. We've actually had a couple in the last week, and unfortunately those are known offenders, nothing stranger related. It usually will be a known person that does something non-consensual, or maybe a boyfriend, girlfriend that you know, ends up poorly, but we do have 2 cases lower than we were last year. Our robberies between January 1st and now are up by 2 cases. And again, those are kind of crimes of opportunity. We actually had one today, and I'm a little bit concerned. There is a pocket in the South Miami Heights community. I did see a representative from Commissioner Moss's office here. I can assure you that we're going to be down there tomorrow, and we already have some activities planned next week in that area. So it really irritates me when we have robberies in, you know, the area, because I see Hammocks more of a residential community. A lot of districts in this police department have malls where people are going, and there's a lot more opportunities. We have mostly homes, so if you're coming here and robbing us, you're coming to pick on citizens. There's not a, I mean, there's a lot of business, but we don't have the Dayland Mall or the Falls or Town and Country. You know, we're primarily a lot of residential, so going into our neighborhoods is unacceptable. And I can assure you that we're going down to you know, handle our business down there and try to stop, you know, these couple robberies that we've had that have put us 2 cases over. Our theft cases are down 45 when compared to last year, and I know that our patrol strategies are, you know, really solid. Major Garcia left us with a very good plate on how we deploy our resources, and we're keeping that intact. Our auto theft cases were up 8 in comparison to last year, and I will say this, you know, having been around the district for the last 6 weeks and doing, you know, my due diligence, a lot of these cases are starting off with people that are going to cars. They're trying the doors, and when they're open, they get in and they find a key. And if the key doesn't start that car, it might start the next car, you know, husband or wife. And it starts out with a simple vehicle burglary, which is not simple, and it ends up in a stolen vehicle. And we're seeing way too many of those. And I hate to say it, but that's laziness on our part. And, you know, I go out there and I check my wife's car every day when I get home and find it open half the time. And I have to remind her that, you know, an unlocked vehicle is going to lead to a vehicle burglary. So if there's anything I can, you know, ask and really ask you guys to do to help us and help everybody else, is lock your cars at night. So we're doing a big campaign with the Ring doorbells and with our cameras, and when we get these vehicle burglaries, we're going and knocking door to door to try to find out if anybody's got video, so we can find these hoodlums that are out victimizing us. And unfortunately, we're seeing a lot of kids that come and they put the hoodies on and they wear gloves, and it's really making it hard for us to identify. But when they get creative, we're going to get creative, and we're going to put our resources out there on those shifts where they do this, and, you know, try to be where they are and grab a few of these suckers and get them off the street so we don't have so many vehicle burglaries. Commercial burglaries, I'm going to knock on wood for this. We've had 1 case this year so far, and we're about, you know, 90 plus days in. We had 9 the same time period last year, so we're really doing good at that. Hopefully we can keep it up, but, you know, these are going to be people that will be stealth, and hopefully our deployment strategies will continue to work and we have success. Residential burglaries, we're down 31 cases. Compared to last year, we've had 65 residential burglaries. If you really consider the size and population of the Hammocks district, to only have 65 residential burglaries in 90 days, I think is outstanding. And I think it's, you know, a combination of good police work, but people are also getting the Ring doorbell, they're putting in alarm systems, there's a lot of cameras, and it is a deterrent. But you know, most importantly, if our neighbors talk, they attend meetings, they share information, they get on the apps like Nextdoor and they pass along suspicious things or call us. It helps us help you, and you guys help each other, and we all live happily and free of crime. So please continue to, you know, do those things. Get on Nextdoor if you don't have it. Email, call the station. Yes, sir.
Do you guys monitor that Nextdoor app?
I'll tell you what, I didn't realize this till I got here. We do monitor, but what I found out is I live in the Country Walk area, and my neighborhood that's set up for me is Country Walk. On my personal account, if you say I got a loose dog or a burglar, I get that. But as the major of the police station on my work account, you say I got a loose dog or a burglar, I don't get that. And what happened is Nextdoor has set it up so police don't have oversight over the communities. So if you wanted us to know specifically, you have to either email us directly or send it into a major MDPD account, which goes to Hector Yavad, that's our chief of communications, and then he would forward it to the districts. But we don't have a direct link. If you were to post there's a suspicious person, where I would be able to see it, unless you lived in my area and my personal account came up with a alert, you know, because you were one of my neighbors. So I don't get to see what's going on around 8th Street, Bird Road, Kendall, only basically from Tamiami Airport south. So, but we're working on it. So, aggravated assaults, we're down 9 cases compared to last year, and aggravated batteries, we're up 2 cases in comparison to last year. And again, these are crimes that are kind of sporadic and I would say nearly impossible to solve. Last night we had an aggravated battery where somebody was riding the bike by the Publix on 104th Street, and they almost got hit by a car. They picked up a rock and they threw it at the window of a car, and you know, it was like a little altercation that just happened by chance. There's no real way to stop a situation like that. Fortunately, there was officers that were close by in the area, and they did arrest the subject who threw the rock at the car. So I think actually the subject got hit by a car out there because he ran into 104th Street. Unfortunately for him. But you know, we get to close some of those cases. It's led overall, like I said, to 82 crimes down of the ones that we tracked. And that's basically our report for crime stats in our district. And the rest I'll leave to you guys to tell us what you're seeing.